Hey everyone, it's Illegal Lifty, and today let's make Onyx's Ethiopia Yabitu Koba on the Kalita Wave. This recipe is still going to use 25 grams of coffee like our traditional recipe, but instead this is going to be a derivative of our traditional recipe to highlight some more of the nuance of this Ethiopian coffee. I'm going to need a Kalita Wave with paper filter, a decanter or large mug, gooseneck kettle, 25 grams of Yabitu Koba, 400 grams of hot water at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to be grinding this coffee medium coarse, but more coarse than a traditional Kalita recipe. This is going to lie somewhere in between a Kalita and a Chemex grind size. First, let's wet our paper filter. I like to pour straight in the middle of my Kalita, let it fill up about halfway before moving to the edges to wet this paper. Be sure your water reaches temperature. While that drains, let's grind our coffee. Then before you add coffee to your brewer, always be sure to dump that water. We don't want a watery cup. Shake your brewer flat to prepare for brewing. Make sure we've got enough hot water. All right, so this recipe is going to use 5 different pours, our bloom, and 4 pours. Turn on your scale, get your timer set to 0, tare it, and let's get started. First, I'm going to bloom 50 grams, pouring lightly, saturating this coffee. And this is going to bloom for 30 seconds. At 30 seconds, I'm going to pour heavy straight in the middle of my Kalita, raising this water up to 160 grams total. Straight in the middle. This is going to highlight acidity and increase our flow rate for the rest of the brew. Our next pour is going to happen at 1 minute. This one I'm going to spiral evenly, starting in the middle, working my way out to the edges. This is going to slow our flow rate and even out that brew bed. This is going to accentuate the sweetness and texture of our coffee. It's already giving off a great aroma. Drop. Slowly spiral. Finishing off at 240. At 1.5 minutes, it's going to be my second to last pour. Another 80 grams straight in the middle, raising that water level up, increasing flow rate to 320. Straight in the middle. These modulated pulses are helping us control and manipulate our flow rate to get what we want out of this coffee. At 2 minutes, I finished this off with another even spiral pour, finishing off at 400. Drop, even pours. And we're done. If this coffee drains really, really fast, around 2:30, maybe even 3 minutes, we're gonna lose a lot of the sweetness and a lot of the nuance of this coffee, and it's just gonna taste like unripe pineapple. Really tart, a little green. This coffee drains really long. It's actually still pretty good on these longer stages, but in the finish and in the edge of that experience, these flavors start to fall apart and just leave a lingering bitterness. But when our coffee drains at around 3.5 minutes, our target drain time for this coffee, which is pretty quick for an Ethiopian coffee, Then we get this really sweet pineapple sugar or nectar, jasmine, this really unique melon note, and sweet tea. It's tropical, it's very sweet, complex. I really love this coffee, and it's been a crowd favorite here in the cafe. These modulated pulses are helping us accentuate that pineapple acidity, as well as this overwhelming sweetness that's going to be really, really nice and carry through the cup. This is also great as an iced Kalita. Here we go. We're almost finished. We've got about 15 seconds leeway between this 3:30 mark. And our brew is done. It smells really, really good. Serve and enjoy.